He may need a lot of your time, but fortunately, this total electric kitchen helps you make time for him.
During the 1950s and 60s, there seemed to be a whole lot of these type of films where they would imagine the future. Predictions of better times ahead. Automation that assisted humans and gave them more freedom and free time.
You're free to take care of him and all the other important jobs that fall to the modern housewife.
So it's a hard pill to swallow, but as the late great Mark Fisher said, the future has been cancelled. Here's Labour MP Clive Lewis flabbergasted at the fact his party has had to resort to taking away benefits from the vulnerable.
You say cutting for the poorest and the most vulnerable. I want to play you this clip of Angela Rayner, your Deputy Prime Minister. She was on Radio 4 this lunchtime talking specifically about the benefit cuts. Have a listen.
I know that it's a very working class thing that people do want to be able to provide for their families and themselves. They don't want handouts, they want support. And that's the important element of that welfare reform.
Is she right? Working class families don't want handouts, they want support?
Most people want to be in a job where they're paid properly with good terms and conditions, that the TUC that says 1 in 6 workers are using food banks, missing and skipping meals. That's what we want to see. But frankly, you know, that people also want a social security net. Any one of us here could end up with cancer or be in a car crash and be reliant on those benefits which are tomorrow potentially going to be cut. This could affect any of your viewers at home, and the kind of society we have, where we look out for one another, the kind of social security net we have, I think it's critical for the kind of society that we are. And people are losing faith in politicians that simply seem to be saying there is no alternative but cuts.
But listen to this, also from Clive Lewis, from last year when the Conservatives were still in power.
A little while ago, I went to a school in my constituency in West Erdham. And I was talking to the head teacher about a national article where children are now turning up to school, children whose families routinely use food banks, after 13 years of this government, who are turning up with bow legs. They're turning up to school with bowed legs. And I said to her, when you're teaching these children, how do you know they're hungry? She said, oh, that's really quite clear. They eat the sand in the playground, in the pit, in the sand pit. That's the kind of signs that we look for as teachers, to know that these children are genuinely hungry.
I wonder if those people, back in the 1950s and 60s, tasked with predicting the future, could have foreseen, in a Western country with the 6th largest economy in the world, that benefits would be being taken away from the vulnerable and some children would be eating sand. Speaking of children, here are some from the 60s who seem to have a better grasp of how the future would turn out.
I don't think there is going to be atomic warfare, but I think that there is going to be all this automation. People are going to be out of work and a great population. And I think something has to be done about it. I think it'll be people will be regarded more as statistics than as actual people.
I don't think it's going to be so nice. I think sort of all machines everywhere.
Click here for a lesson about assholes.